Hello, welcome to White Birch Tarot and Astrology. There goes my voice. This is a reading for January 12th, but I'm going to say it's kind of an ongoing thing. I'm making shadows here. Shadow puppets. How do you do a rabbit? Never mind. I had the perfect quotes picked out and I can't find them. They were on my phone, but I think ghosts got in there and took them. I'm kidding. So I think I've said this one before, but it bears repeating. And who wrote this? Jodi Picoult, Picoult. She's a novelist, and I love her books. She said, excuse me, coal with time and heat and pressure will always become a diamond. But if you were freezing to death, which would you consider the gem? That's a good question, is it not? I think. I wasn't even planning to do this tonight, and then I had to look at the astrology because I've had an astoundingly difficult and emotional couple of days, and I knew, some of this stuff that was going on because we have this opposition, Jupiter to all the personal planets. But there's, if you have any points or planets, if you know your points or planets at the beginning degrees of Sagittarius or the other fire signs. Oh, look, I always use scratch paper because I'm very frugal. And look, there's rust from an old paper clip. Is this Antiques Roadshow or White Birch Tarot? We shall find out. If you have any points or planets at the beginning degrees of the fire signs, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, I just say one word, ouch. Yeah, she's right on my moon. And it's like, ouch. Oh my God. Get off my moon. Anyway, we have a lot going on. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it because I want to do the reading. And I will timestamp. So if you don't want to listen to this, you don't have to. But see, we have a traffic jam here. Here's Mercury at 17 degrees of Capricorn, Mars at 21, Sun at 22, Venus at 24. So here's all the personal planets, except the Moon, which is actually trining Jupiter tomorrow and sextiling. So this is good. Maybe we'll get a little resolution to the emotional woes of the last few days. I don't know. But they're all together. All the personal planets are here together. Again, not counting the moon. And they're in good aspect to Uranus at 27 degrees of Taurus retrograde. So they're moving closer to an exact trine, because that's Earth and Earth. And this is sudden change, revelation, but Uranus is retrograde. So again, I feel like with this opposition to Jupiter retrograde in Cancer, I feel like even if it's something new that happens, it has something to do with the past. The past is figuring very heavily in this. And of course, we've got Neptune, who rules Pisces at the last degree of the zodiac. I keep talking about the karmic aspect here. And here's Saturn trailing right behind, who rules Capricorn. This is so karmic. I mean, we just can't get away from it. And then they're making a mini grand trine with the personal planets, Uranus and Saturn and Neptune. And they're also making not an exact grand trine, but kind of a grand trine with Pluto in Aquarius. So all these planets, which are trining Uranus and opposing Jupiter, as they move away, this will release a bit because Jupiter's going retrograde. I forget when Jupiter goes direct. Anyway, but they're all gonna conjunct Pluto. Yeah. So you think this is bad? No, it's not bad. It's intense. It's intense. And I forgot to change the, see how that goes from warm to light on my screen. Anyway, this is going to actually help us process some of this stuff. It's going to be intense, but transformation is possible. And Pluto is in Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus, who is, affecting these planets right now. So there's just a lot going on. And notice how many things we have in the 20s. Okay, Mercury's not quite there, but we've got Mars, Sun, Venus, Saturn, Neptune, Chiron, Uranus. Well, Jupiter just got out of the 20s, going retrograde. I don't count the moon so much because it moves so quickly, but it's just astounding. I feel like the image I get is like of a plate that's sitting on a table or something and is loaded all on one side, and it's not level. That's not what this shows, but that's why I just feel like it's very heavy in this closing out energy. Everything's very intense right now, but all is not lost. I'm not saying that. It's just challenging, I find. So we have Uranus opposite the moon, but again, the moon moves quickly, so this is just, you know, for the next couple of days. So some sudden emotions coming up. Might have some emotional bumps, some sudden, you know, things that you didn't expect emotionally popping up. Again, just my advice, if you have hurt feelings or anything like that, don't say them right now. You're not going to get the response you want. And you're probably not going to say it the right way. There's that. So yeah, anyway, just wanted to point out what was going on. I drew some interesting cards, I think, and we shall take a look at them. And let me quickly write down the time. Okay, so I'm going to start out with two of the, what are they called? Is that the Wisdom of the Hidden Realm? No, the Shaman's Dream, sorry. I don't even do I have anything called that? Oh well, who knows? Let me put this back up. I moved my thing back a little bit to try to avoid those shadows I was getting. Is that focusing? Not really. Will it focus on this? Yeah, okay. So I was kind of surprised about this. Gathering around the power of community. Now, I don't know. I'm in the U.S., so for those of you who watch the news, or, you know, or if you're in the U.S., you probably know we need community right now. There has been some community going on, a lot of protests, as there should be. So, I just want to, I'm not familiar with this card, so I'm just going to real quickly take a look at the keynotes here. Power of community, being safe and secure and allowing help. Okay, now is the time to allow assistance from others, ask for it, and trust that you will receive it. You are safe and secure right now in this moment, truly supported in your beautiful, amazing, complicated life. You are heard by angels, witnessed by the divine, and loved, yes, loved, now and always by life itself. Whatever your query, you will find the help you need to achieve what you desire, and you will not have to do this alone. Oh, really? Count on it. Okay. It says we need positive reinforcement for others. Perhaps your journey has made you tired just before reaching the proverbial finish line where your friends await to cheer your arrival. Know this, you are not alone, regardless of whether you think you are. Okay. There has never been another you before, and you have a unique relationship with your friends, family, communities, and all those who gather to help you in the unseen realms, okay? Not feeling that today, but you know what? That sounds good. Okay, and then I also got this one is kind of interesting. I kind of feel this. Drifter, experiencing life as it comes. So, that kind of sounds good right now. Let's see what the keywords are here. I'm not going to read the whole thing. What lights you up? Experiencing life as it comes. Seeking the essence but not knowing the form. Okay, it says you might not seem to be doing anything worthwhile or meeting someone else's expectations. But you are the only one who understands that others are running full out on the hamster wheel and getting nowhere. You know that life will find you and bring you everything you require without your having to search for it by simply being instead of frantic doing. It's time to cut the mooring lines holding you to the dock. It's not important to know the destination before you set sail. It will become clear as you leave port. Do not wait for a map, as there are none to where you are destined to go. That sounds reassuring. But be sure that you do have a compass to keep you true. Yours is your pure love and your intention to be free, even of your own beliefs and preconceptions. Okay. Okay, so some freedom here. Well, you know what? Uranus and Aquarius energy, they always bring freedom and new insights. And speaking of that, we have a little Uranus card down here with the tower. We'll get to that. Okay. Oh, I meant to draw a card for, well, that's okay. I didn't. I was going to draw one for each of the elements. But, I think we got enough to work here because I got some shadow cards. So, this is the Cross of Truth. So, I too came out. I said, what's the energy for us right now? And I get clarity of thinking. But look what it comes out with. The moon. The moon is not clarity of thinking. The moon is our emotions and navigating tricky emotional waters and things being kind of confusing. And it comes out with the mental clarity. So, I think it's telling us that, you know what, let me see, let me look at the other cards. I mean, yes, I saw them when I drew them, but I didn't think about them tonight. So, because I need to think about them. They're clearly opposites, not opposites, but they're different energies. I think we're seeking mental clarity, but we feel like our mental clarity is being muddied up a little bit by all this emotional energy coming in. So, what are we moving away from? The Seven of Cups. We're hopefully moving away from illusion. And again, with Neptune and Pisces at the tail end of the zodiac, there's a lot of illusion going around. But hopefully, as Saturn and Neptune both move into Aries in January and February, hopefully that will clear up. But it looks like we're headed for some clarity anyway. Maybe that's some clarity coming in to help us with that. But I feel like we're kind of seesawing between these two. Let's see what's in front of us, and then I'll know better. 2 came out, the 8 and the 9 of Pentacles. So we are working hard. We're working diligently, or we need to be. We're moving into this energy. This is what we're moving into. We're moving into working very diligently with our cat at something. Could be a new skill. It could be something we've been working on for a while. But we're working toward achieving what we want for ourselves and being independent. But I feel like we're also working toward having compassion for others and allowing them to have their independent views and possibilities, not possibilities, their thoughts and perceptions. I feel like that's really important now, especially when it was talking about community. So we're working hard at that. We're trying to achieve a better life, a better world, be comfortable where we are. We're trying to achieve that for us and for everyone, really. I think with that community card, that's clear, and I feel it anyway. So we're trying to be happy where we are, be productive where we are, instead of sitting around waiting for, I need the castle, I need the dove of peace, excuse me, I need romance, I need to win, whatever. We don't need to wait for that. We have to do that right now. And again, I'm going to come back to these. Excuse me, drink of water. Okay, because this is our challenge and the foundation. The Tower. So in comes something sudden. I think that's the Uranus energy. And wait, like I said, wait till the personal planets, in several days. Wait until when would that be? 19, 20, 21. But January 21st or 2nd, we have the new moon on the 18th. And then after that, the personal planets are all going to conjunct Pluto. So, change is afoot. It might catch you off guard. And again, with the Ace of Swords and the Moon, this is something very emotional. Like a sudden, how you just suddenly get that emotional wave that it could be grief, it could be anger, it could be unhappiness, whatever it is. And it affects our thinking. We're trying to be clear. In fact, we could even be trying to communicate with the Ace of Swords. But it's it's a double-edged sword, haha, pun intended, because we're emotional and we're trying to communicate that at the same time, and we're trying to be clear. Are we clear? Well, I don't know. I don't know. We'll talk about that when we get to the shadow cards. And then I said, what's the blessing? What are we supposed to, what's the best we can do here? We get the Knight of Wands. This is moving forward. This is having belief and passion and following, in a sense, following our hearts, because wands are fire. There are spiritual leanings and our desires and our get up and go, our willpower. So this is taking a step forward and moving towards something that you want to do. So we're grounded, we're doing something, we're achieving something. It's something that we truly believe in. And I can't help but think, like I mentioned what's going on here in the US, I can't help but think, I feel like he could be standing up for the underdog too. But it could just be something that you want to do for yourself. Hopefully it helps others. But there's a need to communicate and a search for mental clarity here, while still accepting the fact that, don't push your emotions down. Maybe this is even communicating your emotions, but as I said, depending on if you have anything at the beginning of the fire signs, just be careful. Just be careful, word of warning. Yeah. Okay. And so, again, this is something coming in suddenly. Could be sudden emotions, too. Could be a sudden conversation. Okay. I think this is interesting. The two shadow cards. We get the Hierophant. I said, what's holding us back? I got the Hierophant with the Six of Pentacles. And I got a very, very strong feeling that this is losing faith in the goodness, like losing faith in what we believe in, losing faith in not only those in power, but our own power, our own inner compass, like not feeling like things aren't fair right now. You're offering the pearl of wisdom and you're getting whatever this is in return. You know what I mean? I got a really strong feeling when these two came out that it's losing our faith, losing my religion, just feeling like things aren't fair and being kind of blindsided. Is that the right word? Yeah, blindsided. I almost said side-blinded. No. Blindsided by something emotional that comes up, or a conversation, or something you hear, something someone says to you, something you could say something to someone else in an emotional moment, and it's just like, you're like, whoops, the tower comes down. So this is a cautionary note here, but it's also saying, move out of the confusion if you can and move towards, it's time to do something solid. Just if you're going to do something solid. Maybe not something emotional right now, but just get your ducks in a row and follow your, follow your passion carefully. Okay. I hope that made sense. I just felt moved to do this tonight. And so the new moon is on the 18th, and I don't know if I'll post before then or not, but in any case, please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons. And again, if you don't know, I keep forgetting to leave my email address in the comment section, but if you don't know your chart, I can help you with that. It's free on astro.com. So, I just, if you need some help. Okay, thank you for listening. Blessings, everybody. Good night.